Isn't that just the truth? There are women who feel that they have to have sex or they have to offer themselves. They have to dress seductively. They have to act seductively. They have to try to keep up with what else is out there to compete with them in order to be attractive or have appeal into the male environment. It's interesting, isn't it? The competition. What do I have to do? If I don't go down this road, if I don't look this way, if I don't act this way, if I don't throw off this vibe, then what hope do I have? Because they see, what can I say here? Don't be impressed with yourself if you dress the wrong way and men show up around you. It's not because they're impressed with who you are. It's because there's just a drive that pulls on them, just like a bull elk out in the midst of a field. I didn't know that would have that big of impact, but my wife always says, "Are men just animals?" And I say, no, but really close. Really close. But you know what else I tell men? Don't be so impressed because a woman offers herself to you. It doesn't mean you're that dynamic. Hate to break this to you. But there's a lot of women who are just willing to do anything to have companionship. What am I trying to say to you? Let the Word be what speaks to you of who you are and how God views you. So many women today are giving themselves up for nothing. This is what blows me away. And it's just a human battle, so don't think that I have the wrong perception here. There's just a human battle. Because inside of a woman has a lot of different needs. A woman has a need of security. A man can go out and chase dreams and live in the back of a car. In fact, I was talking with a guy the other day who was driving his wife crazy because he was willing to chase his dreams, and he was so frustrated because she didn't want anything to do with the risk involved. And I said, you got to wake up and understand what's going on. A woman needs security. She's a nurturer. You've got kids. You've got to wake up to the reality here, or you're going to lose it all in the name of you thinking you're a visionary. Women, can I get an amen? Women need security. Women need security. They're like, hey, you want to have family with me? You want to have kids with me? Okay, fine, but let's have a little security. Let's have a roof over the head. Isn't it true? And let me know that tomorrow's going to be okay, and then I'll chase the dreams with you. But what I'm saying to you is that there are women who today are living out of a spirit of fear because of what the enemy speaks to them. And he says to them, if you don't do this, and if you don't play this game, and if you don't offer up this, then you are never going to have this in your life. You're never going to have love. You're never going to have fulfillment. Nobody's going to see you. You're going to be hidden in the crowd. You're going to be overlooked. You're going to be a lonely person. You know, all these different things. This stuff will never happen. It's never going to take place. And if you don't do this and you don't do that. And you know what happens? The devil comes in, and the devil offers all of these fabrications and all these things that are just facades. They look real, but they're not. It's that guy that comes up and says, hey, man, I love you. Boy, you are so... You know, you want to see a little girl light up? I got my Janelle right here, so I know this from the smallest of times. In fact, I saw some cute little girls out in the atrium this weekend. I just knelt down and I talked to them for a minute. And I'll tell you what, all you've got to do to bring a bursting smile on a little girl's face is to say, boy, you sure look pretty today. You sure look pretty in that dress today. And I'll tell you what, there's not one little girl that goes, you know what I'm saying? They may give you that any other moment, but not when you're telling them, boy, you sure look pretty today. But you know what? It doesn't stop when they're 6 years old. It goes all the way to when they're 60 or when they're 80. You can stop a woman in her tracks just by saying, boy, you sure are pretty today. And then just that little bit of expression that goes along with it. And I don't even need to give you those expressions. You know what I'm talking about. And all of a sudden, see, men understand this stuff. Men understand how to pull the strings. And you know, the next thing that will happen is they'll be sleeping on your couch when they don't have a job. And they'll be telling you, I love you. No, you'll be telling me they're sleeping on your couch. And I know exactly where they're sleeping. Hello? I mean, it just blows me away how people think pastors are stupid. I mean, they think like when you get your ministry credentials, your malehood goes away or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, do I really look that stupid? If you are foolish enough to let him in the door, you're foolish enough to let him in your bedroom. And when you let him in your bedroom, what you have done is you have subtracted all the things that you're trying to get in your life. You're just deducting them. Because they're not going to show up and be the man that you want them to be. They're not going to be the supplier that you want them to be while they're sleeping in your house without a job. I wish I could get an amen. I probably have 3 minutes left. I wish I could get an amen. The very first speaker to the women's conference, am I telling you the truth or am I not? All that business of, boy, you sure look pretty today. You know, what you ought to be hearing is what the Son of God says about you. You know, there was a woman in the Bible whose son died. You find this in Luke chapter 7. And there was a funeral procession. This woman was a widow and her only son died. You know what a woman needs? A woman needs to know she's loved. A woman needs to know